Over the years, Microsoft has faced many competitive threats, as well as opportunities to expand by pushing out the competition. In 4 different historical incidents, Microsoft handled the situations 4 different ways, each to varying levels of success. The first was application software. In 1983, Microsoft released the word processor and Excel spreadsheet on the IBM/MS-DOS standard, where WordPerfect and Lotus 1-2-3 were already popular. Rather than continuing to fight an uphill battle, Microsoft took their applications to the Apple platform, where WordPerfect and Lotus 3 were not present. There, Word and Excel became the leading applications, and Microsoft was able to use the Apple standard to develop their applications further. Eventually, Microsoft aggressively packaged Word, Excel, and PowerPoint into Microsoft Office and offered discounts to customers who were switching from WordPerfect and Lotus 1-2-3. By 1995, Microsoft was the leading provider of these types of applications. Microsoft was also able to capture the internet browser market from a competitor who had a head start. Microsoft was far behind in internet browser development, but quickly commanded a sizable portion of the market when Gates made browsers Microsoft's top priority. They released their first browser, Internet Explorer, in 1995, and by 1996, they had a product that rivaled their top competitor, Netscape. Microsoft bundled Explorer with their Windows operating systems and partnered with AOL, which was at the time the world's largest internet service provider. Netscape escalated costs in an attempt to keep up, but ultimately could not and sold to AOL in 1998. By 2002, Microsoft had captured 95% of the internet browser market. Microsoft's least successful handling of their competition came with Java, which was developed by Sun Microsystems as a programming code that could run with any operating system. Microsoft licensed it from Sun in 1995 and developed a version of Java that worked best on Windows. Sun Microsystems sued Microsoft for this, and they settled in 2004. Part of that settlement, Microsoft paid Sun Microsystems $1.6 billion. Lastly, Microsoft had to tamp down a rising operating system competitor, Linux. Linux was gaining popularity as an OS for large servers since it was free and open source. Since it was open source, any number of people online could contribute to improving it, so it was growing rapidly. Microsoft responded to this with a few different strategies. First, they emphasized that although Linux was free, their higher costs of maintenance and support meant that cost of ownership was relatively similar to Windows. Second, they took some of Linux's competitive advantages and applied them to their own product. They made a portion of their code available online and cut prices for emerging economies. Lastly, they partnered with Novell, a smaller vendor of Linux installation and support services, and announced that they were trying to make Windows Server OS compatible with Novell's version of Linux. This scared off some corporate users of Linux, since Microsoft was a private company. From 2000 to 2007, Linux's share of the server OS market rose from 10 to 20%, while Microsoft rose from 50 to 70%.